library. Inside your TD summer reading bags, you will see there is a map, and this is a real map of Shelburne. That is the town that the library is in, and I've marked some special places in this town. We haven't been able to travel very much while we've been staying at home this year, so for story time all summer long, I'm going to tell you about some of the special places in our town. And this week, we are going to be visiting the library. Our library is this big, beautiful building located right in the middle of town. Inside, there are lots of librarians who are hard at work picking out books for everyone and thinking about fun programs that we can do with you once we're open again. Now you know that the story we are going to be reading this week is about the library. And this book is very special because it is called Madeline Finn and the Library Dog. And if you've been to our library, you know we used to have a library dog named Mac. And he was a big poodle that would come to the library and sit to practice reading with you. Let's learn about Madeline Finn's library dog. Madeline Finn and the Library Dog by Lisa Papp. I do not like to read. Not books, not magazines, not even the menu on the ice cream truck. And I especially do not like to read out loud. Keep trying, Madeline Finn, my teacher says. But sometimes I can't figure out the words. Sometimes the sentences get stuck in my mouth like peanut butter. Sometimes people even giggle when I make a mistake. Oh, learning to read is so tough. You have to figure out all the different sounds that letters make by themselves and together. And it's never fun when someone makes fun of you when you're practicing a new thing. I understand why Madeline is so frustrated. And I never get a star sticker from my teacher. I don't even get a smiley face. Instead, I just get heart stickers that say, keep trying. But I want the star. Stars are for good readers. Stars are for understanding words and for saying them out loud. But I know what else they're for. Stars are for making wishes. So I make a wish for my very own star. Madeline is trying so hard to read even at home, but sometimes it is just really hard to start doing a new thing. She's got the right attitude though. She's practicing, and even her mom can see how hard she's practicing. I guess wishes take a while because I don't get my star on Monday or on Tuesday. Keep trying, my teacher tells me on Wednesday. On Thursday, I say the frog's name wrong. It's Samuel. I tried to get away with saying just Sam, but it didn't work. Friday is no better. On Saturday, Mom takes me to the library. Hello, Madeline Finn, Mrs. Dimple says. She is our librarian. I don't like to read, I remind her, just in case she forgot. Oh, I remember, she says, but today we have something special, something you might enjoy. Mrs. Dimple, the librarian, will know how to help. And librarians aren't just there to read books. They have lots of cool stuff for you to do at the library. Let's see what the surprise Mrs. Dimple has is. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to a dog? Mrs. Dimple leads me over to a big white dog. This is Bonnie. Why don't you pick out a book to read to her? She is a great listener. Bonnie is beautiful, like a big snowy polar bear. Would you like to try to read to Bonnie? Mom asks. Yes, please, I say, but not very loud. Wow, this library has so many dogs inside, and Bonnie looks so gentle and like she would be an amazing listener. I'm glad Madeline is going to try to read to her. At first, I'm nervous. I get the letters all mixed up and the words don't even sound right. But then I look at Bonnie and she looks right into my eyes. She doesn't giggle. And I feel better. I try again. Halfway through, I get stuck on another word, but Bonnie doesn't mind. She puts her big paws in my lap and lets me pet her until I figure the word out. After that, Bonnie and I read together every Saturday. It's fun to read when you're not afraid of making mistakes. Bonnie teaches me that it's okay to go slow and to keep trying, just like my stickers always say. I still don't have a star, but I can be patient, like Bonnie. Madeline has been reading to Bonnie every Saturday and practicing with her. And now she feels brave because Bonnie doesn't giggle or make fun of her if she gets a word wrong. She's just patient and keeps listening. Soon it's almost time to read in class again. But when I go to the library, Bonnie isn't there, and neither is Miss Dimple. Would you like to wait for another dog? The other librarian asks. No, thank you, I say as politely as I can. Don't worry, Mom tells me later. Bonnie was just busy today. But what about school? I ask. You'll do fine, she says. Just pretend you're reading to Bonnie. On Monday morning, I am very nervous. Madeline Finn, would you like to read next? The teacher asks. Yes, please, I say, but not very loud. The first sentence goes pretty well, and then I mess up on a word, and then another. I hear someone giggle. But then I think about Bonnie. I take a deep breath and pretend she's right next to me. Next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the page. I look at my teacher and she has a big smile on her face. I did it! I got my star. All of her practicing with Bonnie helped her get her very first star. Yay! On Saturday, we go to the library again and Miss Dimple is back. I got my star, I tell her. I want to give it to Bonnie. Well done, Madeline Finn, she says. I think Bonnie might have a surprise for you, too. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to Bonnie and her puppies? Yes, please, I say, nice and loud. Bonnie had puppies! And now Madeline Finn has tons of friends to read to. I love this book so much. And today we are going to work together and make a bookmark craft for our library week of summer reading story time. For our very first craft of the summer, we are going to be making bookworm bookmarks. In your package, you'll find a piece of ribbon, a cardboard piece of paper with a bookworm and 2 eyeballs printed on it, a real page out of a book, and 2 coloring pages. Now you must be wondering, Miss Brittany, did you break a book for these book pages? And in fact, they did come out of a real book, but once in a while books are returned and they are damaged. So instead of throwing this book out, we are going to recycle it for our craft today. You will also need a pair of scissors and some glue to make this craft. Let's get started by cutting out our worm outline and the 2 eyeballs. Next, we're going to take that page out of the book and start cutting it into little strips. They don't have to be perfect, just cut them into long strips. After all of our strips have been cut, we are going to cover one side of our worm in glue and glue all of the book page strips on it just like this. Don't worry that they are hanging off of the edge because once everything is glued on, we are going to use our scissors and trim off all of those extra edges. And when you flip it over, there's a perfect guide for you to follow while you're cutting. Just trace that outline of the worm all over again until those edges are gone. And now you have a little bookworm. Now it's time to flip that worm over and do the same thing on the other side with our scraps. We are really using every last piece of this damaged book. Trim along those edges again to make it all clean and you have the perfect looking bookworm. Now it's time to design your bookworm's eyes. I made mine sleepy because I like to read before I go to sleep. Glue your eyeballs onto your bookworm. Oh, look how tired my worm looks. The very last step is to add the ribbon. I have a hole puncher, so I punched a hole where I wanted my bookworm's ribbon to be, but you could use a pen or something like that at home. Pull your ribbon through the hole and tie it on, and there is your perfect little bookworm bookmark to help you read this summer. Here is a look at some of the amazing crafts our Storytime friends did at the end of June. Feel free to send me pictures anytime and I would love to feature you in one of our next Storytime videos. See you on Friday for our next Storytime video. Goodbye!